Welcome back to this edition of the Wilkins Way. I'm your host, Sean Wilkins, and tonight we have another special guest, Jersey native. This man grew up in Newark, New Jersey, played at St. Pat's, was an All-American in 2009, went on to have 4 successful years at UNC, playing for Coach Roy Williams, and he's with us tonight, Mr. Dexter Strickland. Dex, thanks for coming on the show tonight, man.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I know you're back and forth between Jersey and you're doing your thing. You know, you were in the NBA D-League for a minute. You were playing overseas. So I'm going to give you the floor for a second. Just tell the people, like, you know, who you are. Yeah, everyone knows you're a Jersey native, and, you know, when it comes to high school, you did it big out here. And you went down, to Chapel Hill, and you did your thing. So just kind of tell the people, briefly your story, how you came up and where you're at now with it.
Yeah, well, I was born, my name is Dexter Strickland, but when I was born in Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
My parents unfortunately got a divorce when I was 3, so my mom had moved to Rahway, and my dad was still staying in Newark. So I kind of like grew up all around Jersey. I grew up in Rahway. I went to middle school in Linden.
Okay.
Then I did, in 8th grade, I transferred to Eport, which is in Elizabeth, and then from Eport I started going to St. Patrick's.
So why?
Yeah. So oh man, those days was crazy. Those days was crazy. I have a lot of memories. Actually, my best friend, over here that came with me, I met her at St. Pat's as well.
Okay, that's nice.
But yeah, that whole experience was just something I'll never forget. Playing with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Kyrie Irving.
I was gonna ask, were you there with Gilchrist and Kyrie?
I got 3 tournament championships. My whole year there. So
nice.
It was just a fun experience for us.
I remember seeing how St. Pat's was just like everywhere around that time. You guys were like national headlines on ESPN a couple times.
Yeah.
So that was fun to watch. And Kyrie being from Jersey, you being from Jersey.
Yeah. So yeah, we all still keep in touch. I was just Mike was just actually up here. We went to the Nicki Minaj concert the other night. Me, him, and a couple other guys from from high school. So I still keep in touch with those guys.
How was it like when you were at St. Pat's being like an All-American? Like we're from Jersey, and like It's always in the LA, and the New Yorks and the Chicagos and the big markets always get all that spotlight. So when a guy from Jersey makes like McDonald's All-American noise, it's a big deal because we go hard for our people.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience for me because at that time I was young, you know what I'm saying, and getting all that attention, it was just like. It was new, you know what I'm saying? It was something that I didn't expect it. At first I was just out there, just having fun, just playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? I never forget. I think my stepfather to this day, but my AAU coach at the time, he was looking on his site and it said that I was the #1 8th grader in New Jersey. So my mom looked at him and was like so happy and crying and stuff like that. And I'm like, the hell, I don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just out there having fun. So, but when I saw how she reacted and how happy she was, that really made me want to like lock down and pursue my dream, to making it to the NBA and stuff like that, and being a professional athlete. So.
It let you know it was real. Like,
exactly.
my Dukes is acting like this. It must be for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you, like, how old were you? Or what grade were you in when you like peaked? When you like knew like, all right, I can take this basketball to another level?
I would say probably like the 7th grade. I always loved to play basketball, but I really started like thinking about getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like just working out hard, trying to elevate my game all the time when I was probably like in 7th grade, going into 8th grade.
Yeah.
And my first dunk was in 7th grade. So
7th grade?
7th grade, yeah. 7th grade, the end of my 7th grade year, I dunked the ball. And when I did that, it was like, I started dunking everything.
I was happy when I started touching rim, man. I started touching rim like in high school, freshman year. I was gassed off that.
Yeah. But
how tall were you in middle school? Did your growth spurt come early?
Man, I was a little taller than everybody back then. I was a little bit taller. I was like
I played playing forward and stuff.
Yeah, I actually played football. I played football before I played basketball actually, and I was taller than everybody on my team. But probably in 7th grade when I probably was like 5. I was probably like 5'10", maybe.
Wow.
5'10",
so you probably had your growth spurt a little early.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like do you still keep in contact, or do you still like go back to St. Pat's every now and then and show those kids love?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually currently right now just helping KB out at his camp. up in Clark. He's running a camp in Clark. One of his camps that he does every year. I think he has one over here in Clark and in the Poconos. So while I'm home, visiting family and stuff like that, I always see KB and his son be up there, and other guys from St. Patrick's up there working as well. After we work the camp, we'll do pickup games and stuff like that. Okay. So I get to see those
people
guys.
Play with you guys and see how
exactly.
Get dunked on one time and get crossed up.
Exactly.
So you were at St. Pat's. You had a successful career there, All-American, McDonald's All-American.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how it was, the recruiting process. And was Roy Williams the coach when you went to UNC?
Yeah, he was.
So how was the recruiting? Because a lot of people they never go through that or they don't go through that at the level that you're going through. I know people getting D2 looks, junior college looks. I mean, you had, if UNC wanted you, I'm sure you've had countless other schools that wanted you.
The recruiting process, I ain't mean to cut you off, my bad.
No, you good.
The recruiting process was crazy, man. It was crazy. I remember my first letter I got, KB actually gave it to me, was Marquette. That was my first letter, and I was so happy, man. And at that time, everybody was looking to get, letters and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was new to me. And then I just started, the big schools started coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I started, really killing it in high school, and North Carolina started coming to the practices. Was at the games like the Peace Jam and stuff like that. Michigan State, Tom Izzo. Florida, Billy.
Billy Donovan.
I had Rutgers, Seton Hall,
of course,
Villanova.
So what made you choose
Ohio State?
What made you choose UNC? Did Roy Williams?
When I went down there,
come sit on your mother's couch. And, the whole.
He actually did come to my house. They all came to the house. Him and Roy Williams and Coach Robinson. Okay. And at that time, I think I was a junior. I was a junior when I committed to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And when I went down there, it was just I just felt like I was home. I actually had family members when I was down there, and some of the guys that was going there before me, Todd Lawson, Danny Green, Wayne Ellington. I was real cool with those guys as well. So them telling me yeah, man, you should come down here. It's a great school. They treat you well. It was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. I'm actually, I used to work sidebar. I used to work, for the 76ers. Yeah. And while I was out there, I don't know if you ever heard of the this annual basketball tournament they do in Philly, the Danny Rumpf Classic. Mm-hmm. A bunch of NBA players who are from Philly, they always come back every summer and play in the Danny Rumpf. So, I handled the media for them, and I hosted one year, and I did all the interviews with the athletes, and Wayne Ellington was one of the guys that came back. I think his team won it all. He's a real down to earth, a real chill dude, and I appreciate that, because I'm not going to say any names, but there were a couple brothers that are in there, and you was just man, this dude is, why is this dude like that? So I met Deion Waiters. He was a real cool guy.
Yeah, Deion cool.
And I always remember how Wayne Ellington, he was in there UNC'd out, had all his UNC gear on, and he was just a real humble, down to earth dude, man.
Actually, I talked to him. His father passed not too long ago.
Rest in peace to Wayne Ellington Sr.
So I sent him. I just sent him out a text. Keep your head up.
And I see he just signed with Brooklyn. So it's good to see he's back in this area. Yeah. He played decent for the Lakers this past season.
Mm-hmm. He did well.
So when you were at UNC, your freshman year, how was it? Until the point where you grabbed the starting spot. You were the starting point for some time, and starting two guard for some time.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a fun experience. Just for the first time playing in front of 22,000 people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Every night going crazy. So it was a crazy experience for me. I was playing with Ed Davis was on our team, Deion Thompson, Marcus Ginyard, Larry Drew was there. Okay. Just playing with those guys was just a crazy experience for my first year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. And be honest, this is the Wilkins way, so you can lay it all on the table. I know you watch the league now, and and you're doing your thing overseas, playing in the Euro League. You're playing in the top level Euro League, but I know you kick back every now and then. You turn on the TV and you're there's no way that this guy should be here. And
as a competitor and as me wanting to pursue my dream, of course I look at that. You know what I'm saying? I don't say, oh, he's not good enough to be there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is there for a reason. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But do I feel like I'm better than some of those guys? Absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't I? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't feed into that. I know if I continue to do what I'm doing as far as like working every day towards my dream, I know I'm going to accomplish it. So I'm not worried about why he's out there and I'm not. I don't get into all that.
Yeah, you can't focus on the next man.
Yeah.
I understand.
So, I mean, everything happens for a reason. You know, some people, go through it easy, and some people, have some bumps in the road. But as long as you get there, you can always appreciate, your journey and
your road's gonna pay off. This is your path. This is your God-given road. Exactly. So you're gonna appreciate it more. You're gonna have a testimony.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just me personally, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. Everybody, who knows me knows that. And I look at the Knicks, and I'm not trying to down like you said. Everyone who's in the league deserves to be in the league. But the Knicks purposely tanked the season this year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We had, the Knicks backcourt is not even worth mentioning. And I'm looking like, come on, you got brothers like Dexter Strickland overseas. Yeah. You could have gave the Knicks like easily 15 and 5 and 4 this year. Or I look at stuff like that. That's just the analyst.
And that's why I be telling my agent, man. I'm like, look, if I need to like go against anybody, you know what I'm saying, like anybody to prove a spot, or just get like those teams to actually, sit down and watch me work out. You know what I'm saying? All I need is the right eyes on me. And I'm in a position to right now to where my first 2 years out of college, I was switching agents like crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've been through 2 agents already. And my first year out of college, I went to France. And at that time, I just felt like I was better than that. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I didn't have the maturity to just block that out and just play. You know what I'm saying? And so I the way I felt was how I was playing. You know what I'm saying? And my agent, I told my agent that I wanted to come back here. So when I came back to the U.S., I played with the Portland Trailblazers D-League team, and that was kind of hard for me, man. That was kind of hard for me because
again, I wasn't like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Exactly, and I felt like I should have been, on the floor more than I was. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But like I said, as a competitor, I'm always going to think that. I'm always going to feel like I can do more for the team that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to feel like that.
Of course.
So, but that was a struggle for me, man. And so now I'm just focusing on, getting better. I'm going overseas for 1 year. I'm not sure where yet. Probably France, Spain. Okay, nice. The Euro League.
So it definitely will be Euro League. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Or either other. It doesn't matter what job, as long as I'm out there playing. And just doing what I love. Working towards my dream. It doesn't matter where I go.
I tell people like that, listen, man, you're getting paid to play a game that you love.
That you love
that
doing.
You grew up playing and training, practicing. Some people wake up and dread hopping on the turnpike and driving to their job and sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours. Like you get to.
That's why I can't. Compete. That's why I can't. That's why I can't complain, because I wake up every day doing what I love to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people, don't get that opportunity, or it's like you said, there's a lot of people that get up and don't feel like driving on a turnpike every day and stuff like that. But I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? And I never complain about the position that I'm in, because like I said, I get to wake up and live my dream every day.
Yeah, I respect that, man. Yeah. And then speaking of the Knicks, I know I just brought the Knicks up. I'm gonna ask you to throw your analyst hat on real quick, because I have I'm extremely opinionated. Everyone who knows me, so I have a lot of opinions, especially if I'm emotionally invested. So I'm gonna let you know right now, draft night, I got a little out of character. I'm not gonna lie. But if you can put me in my place, do it. The floor is yours. Put me in my place if you have to.
Okay.
But draft night, when that number 4 pick came up, and the New York Knicks and Phil 4? Jackson, when they took Kristaps, I don't even care to pronounce his name right.
How tall was he?
6'11", 7 foot.
He's pretty good, man.
Yeah, so I'm saying put me in my place. I was one of those Knicks fans that's like, Phil, what are you doing? Yeah. This pick is garbage. Who is this kid?
I'll be honest. I haven't seen his his full body of work, but I've seen some highlights, and you can definitely see potential in that. 6'11", moving like that. It's not a lot of guys in the league that's really that size moving like that. You got Dirk. Dirk is what? Dirk is taller than him.
Yeah, Dirk's like a legit 7 feet, 6'11".
So
my whole thing, I was just like, You know, like what marriage did he get drafted on? Like what has he done? You know, Justice Winslow was on the board. You had, you know, Johnson that got drafted by Detroit was on the board. Kaminsky was on the board. I mean,
yeah, I thought the draft was kind of weak, man. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Because actually my boy that I grew up with, Carl Towns. I'm sorry.
Oh, Carl Towns?
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my man. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, how do you think he's gonna, you know, transition to the league? How do you think he fits in with the T-Wolves?
I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be. He can shoot. You know, he can put the ball on the floor. He got the post moves. Like I said, he's been my boy since. I don't know, man. His father was helping my stepfather out with the AAU coaching and stuff like that. So we always went to Piscataway to use the gym. And, you know, I just remember Carl always run. He was short. He always would run around all the time with he always had big feet. He always had big feet. And then I remember they came to Carolina to play pickup one summer. And it was the first time I see him in a while. And he was like, I just didn't know he grew that tall. You know what I'm saying? And actually, he was actually playing with the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, he was playing for the Dominican national team.
Yeah,
that's what I was
I saw that.
My first time really like seeing him on TV. I never, you know, had a chance to see him when he was playing down at St. Joseph's.
Yeah.
But when he was playing with the Dominican team, I saw him going up against Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis wasn't the AD that he is right now, but I saw Carl Towns
just imagine
like a 16-year-old.
me, like, the last time I seen him, he was about 5'7".
So you seen him with the national team?
So I seen him, I'm like
6'8".
Like what happened?
Where'd that come from?
Exactly. So I think he's going to do well. Who was the second pick in the draft?
The second pick was
what's his name?
My man that went to the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell.
He's tough. I like his game. I like his game a lot. I seen his. He went to Ohio State, right?
Yeah. And there was a big toss up of who was going to go number 2, Okafor. Yeah. So if you were in Mitch Kupchak's, you know, seat, you would have taken D'Angelo as well over Okafor? Because Okafor has a lot of people praise him, and I've heard a lot of negative stuff about Okafor. They can't finish,
from Duke, right?
No jump shot.
I can't talk good about it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm playing.
I'm playing. To say about it.
But nah, he's a tough player too. I don't know, man. I don't know. That draft was, but you know, that happens.
Yeah, after like the top, I want to say the top 10. I'll give it 10.
Yeah.
The draft was like, you know, turn worthy. You know, I mean, you could have went to see what was on ESPN2 or something.
Yeah.
But you know, just going back to the Knicks, I was just like, this dude though, you know, and that's why I refer to you, because you know about having, you know, NBA workouts, a team bringing you in to work out. So, you know, a guy like me, a commentator, an analyst, a fan outside looking in, it's easy for me to say, oh, he's trash. And, you know, guys do that all the time.
I actually got into an argument with one of my cousins the other night, because he's just a fan looking, like he never played D1 level or like, you know, a professional level. So like, he doesn't really know, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard when I watch basketball with him, because like he says these things and I'm like, bro, you have no clue what you're talking about. Like, it gets me so angry. We get into it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like some people, you know, will look at what's his name again? The guy that went to the Knicks.
Kristaps.
Yeah, people look at him because he's not from America.
Yeah, he's not from
the
U.S.
You know what I'm saying? So, and the Knicks need some help. So they're like, oh, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he can be pretty good.
The thing that bothered me was the report. There was a report like this guy, you know, in 3 or 4 years he's gonna be good. I'm like, wait a minute.
3 or 4?
We taking somebody that's gonna be good in 4 years. Melo gonna be 36 or 37, and like that doesn't help me right now.
Yeah.
We're not trying to wait. We just signed Melo to a 5-year extension, and we used the number 4 pick for a guy that's not gonna be good in 3 years.
I can see why. With that comment, I can see why a Knicks fan would.
Yeah, that was just frustrating to me, man. But like I said, he held his own in summer league, so I can't hate.
Good,
I was really waiting for the summer league to see, like, can I really trash this dude?
Yeah.
But he held his own in summer league, so I had to take one step back. But you know how it is. We were waiting for that opening night, because a lot of times those bright lights, and he in the Garden, he in New York City, so those bright lights.
If he do well though, he gonna get the love. If
he does well, he's gonna immediately be a fan favorite. You know how New York media does.
Exactly.
So you know, it's just interesting to me, like bringing it back, like, you know, to the level where you're at, like overseas. Do like when you're playing like for France or Greece or wherever you're at, do you bump into a lot of guys from America where you're like, oh, I didn't know you were over here?
Yeah, I had a on my team. What's his name? Zach Peacock. He went to I think he went to Georgia Tech. He was on my team, and you know, we kicked it a lot. But I do run into people like say if we play, you know, another country or something like that, or like another team. I do run into a couple people that, you know, that's from over here and stuff like that. So, but the competition is great over there, man. A lot of people think like, you know, overseas is just, I don't know, just like
just run and gun, catch and shoot, a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, it's not. They got some good competition over there.
Yeah, because when you watch the Olympics and you know when you watch U.S. demolish certain countries by like 60, and then you watch U.S. play like Serbia or play France, and it's a close game. It kind of makes you think like the U.S. national team is all NBA All-Stars. Yeah. They're playing like Serbia, France, and they're going to overtime with France. It makes you think like, all right, these brothers in France might not be as bad as people. You know, you got Tony Parker from out there.
I feel like basketball is getting bigger too. Like they're playing basketball everywhere now.
It's definitely growing like internationally, big time.
And the NBA about to get that TV deal.
Yeah, that's how all these guys signed, you know, these huge contracts over the summer, benefiting from that.
They definitely about to expand.
So, like, what's your take on the whole, you know, Emmanuel Mudiay aspect? Like, you being heavily coveted coming out of high school, All-American, and Mudiay having kind of the same love, you know, every school wanting him. He actually signed to the school that Larry Brown coaches at now in Texas, SMU.
Who?
Emmanuel Mudiay. And he went over to China.
Okay.
And Mudiay got drafted by he got drafted in the lottery. Went over to China, only played like 7 games, got hurt, and still got drafted. I want to say with the 7th pick by Denver. And now, you know, a couple years back, Brandon Jennings did that. Now you see Mudiay do that. Do you see like that being a trend with high school basketball?
I don't know. Maybe, man. Maybe. You know, because a lot of kids, or you know, I'm not gonna say that a lot of kids don't want to go to college, but I just feel like, I don't know, maybe. Kids are more focused on basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I feel like a lot and myself as an athlete, you know, there's a lot of classes that I took that, you know, I felt like didn't help me in the direction I was going. You know what I'm saying? Like a geology class, like. Yeah, like, you know, I have like no interest in that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
not
like,
helping you with what you're doing right now.
It has no like direction. There's no. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why I was taking that class. So. Guys that, you know, think like that, you know, may want to go do a Brandon Jennings and go overseas and stuff like that. Even with PJ Harrison, good friend of mine, that went to Carolina. He was at Carolina. You know, unfortunately, a couple things happened, but he was the first player to go from, you know, college to the D League. You know what I'm saying? So,
I remember that.
Go, you know, transfer straight to the D League. So
and
it worked out well. Exactly, and it worked out well. So. I don't know, man. I feel like the more, like you said, the more and more people do it, the more, you know, everybody's gonna be like,
because, you know, I'm going to be real. You know, I didn't play college basketball, so outside looking in, you see a guy like Mudiay who decided to skip college, play, you know, he played in China. He didn't even play in the Euro League. He played in China for 7 games and got drafted top 10. So you're going to have kids looking like, wait a minute. Do I want to go sit on a college campus and take geology or take, you know, accounting 1 or all this stuff? You know, like you said, these kids don't want to go to school and hammer on the books. You 17, 18, you want to focus on basketball. Especially if you're a guy that knows, you know, you can enter the draft next year.
Man, think about how many, I feel like, think about this. How many kids you think will, until they, before they change the rule that you have to go to college for at least 1 year, how many kids you think will try to make to the league out of high school?
I think Isaiah Briscoe would have entered the draft. Honestly. Isaiah Briscoe in this year's draft, he would have been top 10. I mean, he would have been up there with the D'Angelo Russells and the Mudiays compared to the top 2-3 point guards that came out this year. I firmly believe that. The dude was like #1 point guard in the nation for 2 years. And, you know, another, you know, Jersey native right out of Newark, New Jersey, played at Roselle Catholic. So, I mean, but, you know, to the NBA's point, there's probably more failure stories than success stories with dudes that made the jump from high school. So they had to do that. Well, that's what they're pitching to us. But the real reason is the money, and they know that guys leaving, from high school to the league was hurting the NCAA's pockets.
Exactly.
And nobody wants to talk about that, but that's the real. You know what I'm saying? They, they act like they care about these kids' educations, but when you got Coach Calipari coming up to your living room saying, "Listen, I know your kids are one and done. Send them to me." Exactly. So, and Calipari's a millionaire. And then you got these kids that can't get paid a dime for playing college, NCAA football, basketball. So it's good to see that it's kind of,
me and my dad was actually talking about that. Yeah, me and my dad was actually talking about that the other day, like, why an NCAA player can't get paid. You know what I'm saying?
It makes zero sense.
They're doing the same thing, like, I feel like they're doing the same thing NBA guys do, in a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all the money that they draw in for the school, you know what I'm saying? The games we had packed, like, it's just, I don't know, the signings that we do, like, everything that we do, I just felt like, why not get paid for it?
I think it's a huge contradiction. And, the NCAA has been called out on. You got Johnny Manziel, the quarterback, that played at Texas A&M. He was a phenomenon. And he got in trouble for signing his own jersey. Like they can't even get paid to sign stuff. So I believe Jay Billis, called out the NCAA on that on national TV, and I'm glad Jay did that because he was like, you go on NCAA.com right now and you go to the shop section, you can purchase a Johnny Manziel jersey. But Johnny Manziel can't make money off his own name, but you guys can sell his jersey online. It's a huge contradiction. That makes zero sense.
That makes sense. I'm glad I went to a good school. UNC is a great school, man. We got treated like kings over there. You know what I'm saying? We got all the gear we wanted. We always went to the best restaurants. Everybody knew us. It's a small town, so everybody knows you. We just got a lot of love when we was there. So
the UNC has always been like, painted in the light as like a great program. Even before Roy Williams was there. I mean, the history of UNC, Michael Jordan, and, tons of great guys came out of UNC. Kenny the Jet Smith, and Rasheed Wallace, Vince Carter. So, UNC has a long history of like guys that come out the league and do well, as opposed to your rival Duke. The knock on Duke is these guys don't transition well into the NBA. I see Kyrie kind of like silencing that.
Kyle figured it out when he first got there.
Yeah. Kyrie's in a good space right now. I hope he recovers from all these injuries he's going through. But, to see like, I find it interesting how some schools like Duke, you have guys that come to the league and just don't transition well, like, historically. But UNC has always been kind of like a cesspool where it's like you grab someone out of UNC, you have a player. And that's always been UNC's reputation. So you landed at a great spot. I know you have like no regrets over choosing UNC.
Nah, not really, man. I like I said, I felt like I was home when I was there. You know what I'm saying? The staff was great. I was in a great position, I felt like. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like family. To this day, I've been out of college for 2 years now, and fans always still hit me up, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Just checking in how I'm doing. I still get, the same kind of love. So, I don't regret my decision. I don't regret my decision at all.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of disappointed in the whole like Rashad McCants fiasco. I'm sure you heard about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so with Rashad McCants like trying to like come back and throw shots at Roy Williams.
That was kind of crazy, man.
And it's like, come on, like you went to a national championship with this guy. Who knows what McCann's situation is now, but it seems like you're down and out. And now all of a sudden you have all these accusations against UNC.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, man. When I watched it, I was kind of surprised, but I don't know what that man has going on. I don't know what his relationship was with Roy, with Coach Roy, or with anybody else on the staff, or why he did that. If he got paid for that, you know what I'm saying? You never know. So. And
there's so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes under the table. All you can do is worry about you and your situation.
Absolutely.
You get caught up in worrying about everybody else. Like your mind's not going to be on basketball, and that's the reason you're down there. So do you agree with the whole thing about that lawsuit going through where they're trying to get these college kids, NCAA athletes paid?
Why not? Why not pay them? Why not pay them? Like I said, like when I was there, I thought we should get paid. You know what I'm saying? The conversation came up all the time. And obviously it's still alive. They're talking about it. So I don't know. I think they should. I think they should.
Something that rubbed me the wrong way, the running back for the Houston Texans, Arian Foster. He was a running back for University of Tennessee, and he did an interview on ESPN one time, and he was like, "Listen, man, I had situations in college where I was calling my head coach like, Coach, I have nothing to eat. I'm starving. Like, there's nothing in my and I'm sitting at home watching like." This is absolutely crazy that this man puts his body at risk. He can break his leg tomorrow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Puts his body at risk. One of the top running backs in the nation gets hit and dinged around 50 times a game and has no food. Yeah. I think that's nuts.
It doesn't sound right at all.
To me, it sounds like, some old, tradition stuff that was mandated in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and these guys are just stuck in their ways and don't want to progress and change. Because I don't see any problem with throwing a college athlete a little bit of money. They have to go home and still cram out papers and still have the responsibilities of the everyday student, and they're making your university.
So if you was to pay them, how much, do everybody get the same amount? Or
and that's where the issue lies, because people are like, listen, if we agree to pay these kids, now you're gonna have parents coming like, hey, you want my son to come to school?
So even with the walk-ons, they get no pay, and then they're doing the same thing we're doing.
And how can you pay a walk-on the same thing as you pay a star?
Do you pay the best? Yeah, like you said, do you pay the best player on your team the same amount as the walk-on?
And that's the slippery slope. That's where they're at with it. And then I understand that part, because it's gonna get into an issue where there's gonna be a top recruit, like the kid who came out of Florida this year. That was like the #1 player in the nation basketball. I forget his name. He went to LSU. So if he would have went to LSU and listen, now that you guys are playing college athletes, if your players are getting paid $10,000 a year, you got to pay my son $50,000. And that's gonna start coming about with parents and representatives of these kids. If you're getting paid, these kids are going to start hiring an agent. Well, I want someone to represent me that can go get me the top dollar. So when you talk about college, that's where the problem lies. Because a lot of people say, your payment is us paying your tuition. Like in 2015, what's University of North Carolina tuition? Probably like $30,000 a year or something crazy.
Exactly.
So if we're paying $120,000 for you to get a college education, they're saying that that's your payment. But some kid can get a scholarship for doing music. I might play the flute. You know what I'm talking about? So
I get exactly where you're coming from.
So if I play the saxophone, I should get paid too if you're gonna give that man money. So that's where the problem lies, and people are gonna start. People are gonna start raising an eyebrow, when they see this kid getting receiving favoritism over that kid, like you just said, the walk-on the bench. People are gonna be in an uproar if he's making the same amount as the kid who was just #1 in the nation in high school.
Exactly.
So I don't know how they're gonna figure that out.
I can see where, it's difficult to decide whether it's right to pay, college guys, but I just felt like when I was there, I don't know, man. We always had me, Reggie, John. We always had conversations about what if they paid, college guys and stuff like that. So.
And did you have you guys had a brotherhood where you guys looked out for each other? Like, hey, if I'm eating and I got it, you're not going to starve. You eating too.
Yeah, absolutely. I still keep in touch with those guys. When I was in LA, I went out to lunch with James McAdoo and Harrison Barnes. Yeah. We went out to lunch. One of my best friends was Reggie Bullock. I was staying with him out in LA.
Okay, he was with the Clippers for a while.
Yeah, he's with the Clippers. PJ Harrison, John Hens. I keep in touch with all those guys. Leslie, all those guys. So there's like my brother over there. So I make sure I keep in touch. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing you get that chance, getting that phone call where where you get that call up and you
finally be there.
NBA floor. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I'm sure your phone's gonna be blowing up that night. Yeah. With all your guys who are in the league and who have done it when they see your grind.
Because I'm always watching the games like I'm the only one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one that started. I'm the only one in the starting five that's not there. You know what I'm saying? So that right there even pushes me more to just.
I'm sure.
I know I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be there. So I'm gonna get there, man. It's just fun. I love seeing my best friends out there. Living their dreams and stuff like that, and that motivates me. So.
Word. I mean, I can't let you get out of here without at least touching on NBA topic. People will be all over me if I let that happen. So 2015, 2016 season, who do you think looks good in the East and the West? Do you see any rookies that just came in being like an impact right away, or do you think it's going to be like the Spurs still dominating with their old team?
I think Westbrook. My favorite player I love to watch is Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook on the Thunder.
Russell Westbrook, yeah. So I think he's gonna kill this season. I think he done figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I think he done.
Even with KD being back.
Even with KD, I don't like. See, that's tough because I don't know how that's gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know how it's gonna go. KD, he was out from something wrong with his foot, right? Yeah, he was out from his foot. Yeah, so you know he's ready to come back. Russell, ain't nobody stopping him. He's just too aggressive. He's gonna be juiced up out there. And, I'm excited to see them play. LeBron going back to Cleveland. Kai's healthy. K-Love is healthy.
Yeah, Cleveland bringing a squad.
Yeah, you know they coming again. The MVP, Seth, Clay, my boy Harrison. They going. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough.
I believe the league's in a good place right now.
Yeah.
You know, you have a couple. You like. It's a good debate to have when you can say, man, it can be between like 6-7 teams.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point in the NBA not too long ago where it was like you knew the Spurs were going. You know what I'm saying? You knew, like, you know, when LeBron was with the Heat, they went 4 straight years. It felt like, you know, the NBA lacked parity and it lacked, like, you know, it lacked competition as far as
I think the Clippers are going to be good too. I think the Clippers are going to be good. They got DeAndre back. Paul's still there. They got Blake. Austin's going to have to step up this year. I think he did pretty well at the end of the season.
Yeah, I believe he did
pretty well. You can see he started getting more confidence. You know, started scoring more and stuff like that. So they're going to need that from him. Jamal Crawford, I think he's going to, you know, he always comes to play.
He's consistent.
Yeah, he's very consistent. I think he's been in the league for like 9 years, 10 years. So
yeah, probably more. Yeah.
So. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. The Lakers. I can't wait to see what the Lakers do. I want to see how they're gonna play with. But they got Hubert, Roy Hubert.
Oh, Roy Hibbert.
Hibbert.
They just traded for Hibbert. Basically gave nothing for him. It showed how much Larry Brown and the Pacers felt about him.
Did you hear about Kobe talking about playing the 4?
The 4? Yeah. I have not heard.
I saw that on Twitter yesterday. He was saying that. They wanted him to play at the 4 or something like that.
Because I heard Larry Bird was saying that he was trying to convince Paul George to play at the 4.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And Paul George was like not trying to hear that.
Forgot about Paul. Paul going to come back strong, too.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul going to come back strong.
I think the Pacers are still, you know, took a couple steps back. Lost Hibbert.
Yeah.
Lost David West, who just went to San Antonio. I think the Spurs look crazy strong right now.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I had to make a pick, I think the Spurs are coming out the West, especially with the whole thing Popovich is doing, how he's resting players, and you know Tim Duncan's probably going to play like 50 games, sit out every other game. He has.
So you think the Spurs are going to come out on in the West again? Like, not again this year, but
this year I think so. With LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, I forgot about LaMarcus.
Yeah, they stacked up. The Spurs look strong. The Spurs look strong. I could see a Spurs.
So you calling the finals right now? Who's in the finals right now?
See, I don't know who's coming out the East though. You have to go with LeBron. Does LeBron go 6 straight years? You know, I would say Spurs, Cavs. LeBron gets his rematch against Duncan.
So the Warriors not making that kind of run no more.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Spurs Warriors in the conference finals.
That's going to be tough.
It is. But it's going to be hard to stop Steph because Tony Parker can't guard him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to have to throw Kawhi Leonard at Steph, and they're going to have to throw, you know, Danny Green at Clay.
Who's the best point guard in the league?
I catch a lot of heat for this because everyone wants to say Russell Westbrook, and you know, I look at Westbrook as a 2. He doesn't pass the ball.
But he plays the 1.
He plays the 1, but you know, I have certain opinions about Westbrook.
So he's getting triple doubles, like.
Yeah, but don't get it twisted.
8 triple doubles in a row. He wasn't being a point guard.
He put in work this year, and this year I can say that, you know, with KD out, he showed, you know, his point guard skills. Like you said, there were nights where he had back-to-back triple doubles.
Yeah.
I just look at Westbrook's like shot selection. I'm like, for a point guard, how this dude just lowers his head and chucks up crazy shots.
People been criticizing that, like as a fan and as a basketball player, like he's been playing like that. He's just making more. Like he's just making more of those shots. He's more under control. his pace now is just different. Like that's why I said like I think he's figured it out. You know, he's very aggressive. Like you can't stop somebody going that fast.
So you would consider Russell Westbrook a true point guard?
Yeah. I think he's definitely a true point guard. Why not?
I think Derrick Rose is better than Russell Westbrook.
What, the MVP Derrick Rose?
Yeah.
Or the Derrick Rose like or the Derrick Rose now?
I mean, of course you can get that, but as far as
they play different, Derrick Rose plays different. Like maybe he'll have more confidence now, you know, as far as him trusting his knee and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe he'll get back to, you know, the way he used to. I mean, I think he still moves like that, but it's just like you can tell. Like, I mean, I had the same injury. You know what I'm saying? So like when you come back from an injury like that, you're thinking about it. You're trying your best not to think about the knee. And
but it's just in your head.
It's just in your head, so you play like it just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with D Rose coming back, you know, this season, he's gonna have way more confidence. He's probably working out.
So too.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see the Bulls actually get over the hump. I like Tom Thibodeau with the Bulls, but it just seemed like Thibodeau could never get them over the hump.
Yeah.
But to go back to your question, that's actually a good one because I for a while I think Chris Paul had that title. But Chris Paul's been irking me too, man. How he had the Rockets up 3-1, and he couldn't put his foot on the Rockets' neck to close out one game.
Chris Paul, big bro, man. That's my big bro. I think he, you know, people. I don't know. People. A couple of my friends were saying, you know, he's getting old and stuff like that, and I don't even like feed into that. I feel like I still feel like he's definitely top 3 point guard in the league. I
don't even look at the age. I just think he's not a closer.
Yeah.
The dude's never like been out the second round of the playoffs. He had the Rockets up 3-1, couldn't close. I'm like, come on, CP3. Everybody, you know, tries to give you that top point guard in the league title, and you can't close. I mean, the year Steph Curry just had, you might have to say Steph's the best in the league. You know, and I personally, you know, I've expressed my opinion how I think Steph Curry shouldn't have even won MVP. I think James Harden got robbed. James Harden did it with less. You know, to me, they should change the name of the MVP award because the most valuable player is James Harden, who averaged like 27, 8 and 7, and did it with Dwight Howard missing games.
If that's the case, then why you can't give the most valuable player to Russell Westbrook?
And that's a great point.
Going by your definition
of MVP. That's a great point, and I was going to get to that because Russell Westbrook individually had the best season this year, hands down.
I agree.
Hands down.
I agree.
Statistically, Russell Westbrook had the best season this year, which is why, what brings me to my point, it bothered me how you know, during the NBA Finals, a big topic was, even if the Cavs lose, should LeBron get MVP? And I'm like, how in the world are people like realistically saying that? So they're like, oh, well, you know, he can get MVP even if they lose because, you know, he's just been spectacular. So I'm like, listen, if y'all give LeBron MVP, if he loses, if I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm throwing a fit for not winning MVP.
They wasn't going to give Brian MVP. They can't.
Yeah, I knew they weren't, but the fact that they were talking about that had me tripping because they're saying that, you know, regular season, you can't win MVP if you're on a losing team.
Yeah, I still feel like he's the best player, though.
Yeah,
he's the best player, but they wasn't going. What Steph was doing was just crazy.
And then you know, with Kyrie being out, with Love being out, LeBron didn't have a chance. If LeBron would have won the championship by himself with J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert, they probably would like have his statue sitting in front of the, you know, Quickens Loans Arena
for sure.
And they might have given him his golden jacket, his MVP, his Hall of Fame jacket, like at the podium.
No lie. I thought at one point, I want to say, they won game 2, didn't they?
They won game 2.
I think it was game 2. I thought that they really had a chance to, you know what I'm saying?
Me too, because they won. I think they won. They might. I could be wrong, so don't quote me. I think they won like 2 straight, or they won game 2 and then won game 4.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Dellavedova was like, you know, uncharacteristically like, you know, stopping Steph Curry, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's why Curry didn't win Finals MVP. When you got a guy like Dellavedova shutting you down, they're like, how can we get this dude MVP? But, you know, Curry closed out strong.
Yeah.
So I got to give him that. But as far as, you know, the top PG in the league, the NBA is a point guard league right now. So that's a toss-up. But if I just have to pick someone right now, I'd have to say Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
You know, he's a reigning champ right now.
His shot is crazy, man.
It's crazy.
I actually looked at some film on it, and like just the way like he gets it off. Nobody shooting like that.
Yeah, man. He's been doing his training by his father, Del Curry. He was a great shooter. That's been an NBA warm-up line since he was like 6 years old. So him and his brother. Yeah. But you know, people don't talk about his court vision. Like, he's an underrated passer.
Mm-hmm. No, he's a great passer.
Yeah, you know, because since he's such a great scorer, it overshadows his passing ability. But he's a good floor general and a good facilitator. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say Steph. So I'm assuming you're gonna say Russell Westbrook, best PG in the league right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think he. I don't know, Steph. Crazy as shit, but. That's as far as like dominating a game. Yeah. I just feel like Westbrook is number one.
I hear you.
Yeah. As a point guard.
I hear you. Yeah, the top player. That's a discussion for another day because a lot of people say LeBron. Yeah. I feel differently about that, but LeBron's the most dominant player I believe in the NBA, but the most skilled player and the most polished game, I can't give that to LeBron.
Who are you giving it to? Steph?
I don't know. Top player in the NBA, that's just crazy. I'd have to like come into this having given that some thought. You know what I'm saying? Because, last year it looked like, 2 years ago it looked like KD. When he averaged 32 and won MVP, it looked like KD.
Yeah.
But as of right now, that's a huge toss-up. I can't call it right now, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I get into arguments all the time with my boys about
Me too. I'm the same way.
Yeah. I just got into an argument with my cousin the other day about Carmelo. I said that Carmelo is definitely probably top 3 scorers ever.
Ever?
Pure scorers.
Ever? I can't argue that.
I think so. Like, what you think?
I can't argue that.
I think so. So
pure scorer. Carmelo's bad, man.
He was disagreeing. You know what I'm saying? He was disagreeing, so I was just like, man. And this is the one that doesn't watch basketball that much.
Oh, okay. This the same guy.
This the one that doesn't watch basketball that much. So you
gotta stop debating with this dude, man. Well, before we let you get out of here, man, I definitely want to, give you an opportunity to, to kind of like shed light to the people. Like when you're back in Jersey, like you are now briefly, obviously you have to, gear up to go back and get your money and go play overseas. And, obviously you're always waiting on that phone call to see if a team out here is going to bring you on. But when you're out in Jersey, like what are some of the things you do, certain camps that you give back to, and that, certain things that you're doing in the community when you're back home and, things of that nature? Yeah,
well, when I'm back, I haven't been back. I've been in Jersey now for 2 weeks and a couple of days. And since then I haven't been back since Christmas.
Oh, wow.
So I talked to my mom to, I had to come back. My sister had a baby, so I got a new nephew.
Nice, congrats to the family.
Yeah, thank you. So, I came back here. I've been here for 2 weeks. Like I said, I did the KB camp in Clark. My sister actually teaches for East Orange Middle School, so going up there, talking to the kids,
nice.
Reading them stories and stuff like that. And,
I know the kids love that stuff.
Yeah, they love that stuff, man.
They eat that up.
So just doing that, just putting a good positive voice, in inner city kids like that, East Orange, Newark, places where I grew up at, is something I always would want to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of kids out there don't have that guidance to where they're hearing all these, positive voices. You know what I'm saying? They go out. You know how the area is over there. They go outside. And it's nothing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately.
It's drugs everywhere. You see that stuff every single day. Nobody's over there telling them, look, man, you can go ahead and chase your dream. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, go out here and hang on the corner all day with your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to, go out there and just be around bad people. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nobody over there. So every time I come back, I make sure that, I go into those schools and, I talk to, kids like that to make sure they're out there. They're out there doing something positive. You know what I'm saying? Not, keeping themselves out of trouble.
Absolutely. I commend that.
I actually talked to my dad and, about in the future just building recreation centers around in the neighborhood, just keeping having kids to just keep staying busy, you know what I'm saying, just having something to do all the time. When I was growing up, I was fortunate enough to not be in that situation to where I can go to the recreation center and just spend hours there just playing, you know what I'm saying, instead of outside, up the street, just doing nothing, just hanging around bad people. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be dope to see you even start your own foundation, the Dexter Strickland Foundation. these athletes, not you in particular, but some of these guys take for granted, what their voice means, what their presence means. You walk into a middle school, hi, I'm Dexter Strickland, played for UNC, da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids looking at that like that just made his day, his month, his year. Me personally growing up, I didn't have a lot of role models. I never had, guys come to me and tell me like, you can do this and you can go that. I tell people all the time, mainly my girlfriend, we have this conversation. I tell her when I was in high school, we didn't even have guidance counselors or teachers like come up to us and be like, talk about college.
Mm-hmm.
So, I played high school basketball. No teacher ever came to me like, hey, listen, Sean, you can go somewhere, or you can do this, you can do that. I was naive, and when I was 15, 16, I was a knucklehead acting up, and I never had someone kind of come put me to the side like, listen, man, you need to shape up because you might not go D1, you can go D2.
Mm-hmm.
You can go make money overseas. I never had anyone sit down and have that conversation with me. And these kids need that, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, when I first started getting serious towards basketball, it was probably like the 7th grade. But before that, I used to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Like just not like
you and me both.
Yeah, not like doing bad things. I was just always in trouble about something. You know what I'm saying? Either be in school talking back to a teacher or something like that. Like just being a bad kid at the time. But playing basketball, like that's why I take it serious so much now. That's why I love it, because if it wasn't for basketball, I don't know what I would be doing. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my dad about it all the time. I'd probably be somewhere in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But so I mean, just to give kids like in Newark, like in Patterson, East Orange, just everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, just to have something else to do. Rather than just doing nothing.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's always going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to give back.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It was a pleasure having you on, Dexter.
No
I really
problem,
appreciate you joining us tonight, man.
No problem.
I know, like you said, you don't get to come out often, but I'd love to have you back next time. You're around, and very uplifting, informative, episode tonight, and I definitely appreciate you joining us and coming on the show,
man. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. I had a fun time with you guys.
I wish you the best. Good luck, safe travels when you go back, wherever you land, France or wherever in the Euro League, and turn up so we can see you over here with an NBA logo on.
No doubt. I'm gonna come back with
That's
that.
What's up, man. So everybody, plug your Instagram real quick. Where the fans and people who are seeing you for the first time can follow you.
Okay, my Instagram is dstrick01. It's the same as Twitter. I ain't gonna give y'all my Snapchat, but my Instagram and Twitter is dstrick01. So y'all can follow me on that. Check out my journey. Check out how I'm pursuing my dreams. So.
Nice. And you guys already know you can check me, Wilkins_away on Instagram, Sean Wilkins on Facebook. And for Dexter Strickland, I'm Sean Wilkins. Tune in next time and follow me on Instagram. I'll keep you guys posted on when this episode is going to be up and all the future episodes. And go follow right now Dexter Strickland, dstrick01, and show the brother some love. It's the Wilkins way. Next time.